Marriage isn't always easy. Building a strong, lasting relationship takes effort, understanding, and resilience. Now, in today's episode of Hidden Pearls Inspiring Stories, we are joined by Coach Rasimah Jar. She's a published author, a relationship success coach, and marriage educator with over 30 years of experience. Now, having touched the lives of thousands, Rasimah shares practical insights on strengthening marriages, navigating challenges, and fostering deeper connections. Whether you're married, preparing for marriage, or simply curious about what makes relationships thrive, now this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Hidden Pearls Inspiring Stories. Now today my next guest, she is Coach Rasimah Jar. She's a published author, a relationship success coach, and marriage educator with over 30 years of experience. So last I met her was during a program. I'm not so sure whether I spoke about family, about parenting or marriage, but all I know that I love so much her candid and engaging style. So today I would like to welcome Coach Rasimah Jar. Salam Kak.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Nora, for inviting me to your podcast. I'm humbled.
Masya Allah, I am humbled to have you with me today. Now, Kak, okay, perhaps you want to say hi to the listeners and tell them what you do.
Yeah. Okay. Hi,
In
listeners.
detail.
Okay. Thanks for being here with us. Basically, what I do is I do quite a bit. For 30 years, right? I mean, I've been doing a lot. Basically, if you think about any kind of relationship, family, individual, friends, couples, married or unmarried, things like that. I do it all. Most of my forte is to train couples who are getting married. That means kursus rumah tangga. That's one of my pet project. But on top of that, I do a lot of counseling and therapy work, as well as coaching, couple coaching. So couple coaching and couple counseling is not the same. Okay, if I have the time, I will explain later on. And I do a lot of motivational.
Okay. So couple
I do a lot of
coaching and couple
motivational.
counseling.
That's right. It's not the same actually, because coaching is where you are and where you want to go.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah, but counseling is looking at your past. So it's a different thing. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
so
Interesting.
in the essence, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, Kak. So what and when do you feel this, you feel this inspiration to focus on helping couples in their relationships?
Okay, good question. The way I see it, the beginning of life as we know today, right, started from one couple, and I think you know who they are. Okay, they are none other than our foremother, right? Nabi Adam, alayhi salam, and his wife Hawa, the mother of all humankind. So they were the first that to be paired, united in heaven, and then briefly separated, right, on earth, and then reunited on earth again after going through hardship and longing for each other. And then while searching for each other, before long, they are back together, and then they have a family, long life together as life partners, raising, teaching, loving the children, right? So if Adam and Hawa did not stand together as an effective parent, effective partner now, the world as we know today may be different. Wallahu alam, right? So the inspiration to focus, my inspiration to focus on helping couples in a relationship actually often stems from my personal belief, right, in the profound impact a healthy partnership can have on individuals as well as society. And then coupled with my own desire to equip couples with these tools to actually allow them to navigate their challenges, because everyone have challenges in their life, build strong connections, foster meaningful intimacy, right? And ultimately leading to, inshallah, happier and more fulfilling lives for everyone involved in their life. So I also believe that by supporting healthy relationships, one can actually contribute to a more stable and supportive society as a whole. Yeah.
Agree. I totally agree. Now, speaking of relationship, I just want to dive in
Right,
into your
right,
personal relationship. So
right.
maybe you want to tell me more about your family, your partner.
Okay, all right. I met my husband 29 years ago, married him, and going to be 28 years next year. So
Wow.
I'm married to one man so far, Alhamdulillah, and I hope so until the end. Okay.
Amin.
And yeah, okay. And then thank you. And we have four beautiful children. The eldest is 25 and she's already working now in KL. And the youngest one, my only boy, I have three girls, one boy. And the
Wow.
last one is in Indonesia. He is reading the Quran, Tafiz Al Quran. So yeah,
MashaAllah. How old is he?
yes. So he's 19 going 20. Yeah.
Wow. Alhamdulillah.
So all out of
Okay,
the
Kak.
house, so only myself and my husband and three furry kitties.
Wow. What a blissful
Yeah,
life. Alhamdulillah, eh?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Well, it looks
Okay,
blissful,
Kak.
but a
No,
lot of hard work, huh? All the 27 years.
I'm sure a lot of
Yeah,
hard work and hard work, eh?
yes, hard work and hard work, yes.
That's right. Okay, now speaking of that, right? Like in let's just dive into
Okay.
understanding relationship dynamics, eh, Kak? In
Mm, mm,
today's busy world,
mm,
based on your experiences, right, with
mhm,
coaching or
mhm.
counseling for that matter, what are some of the key challenges that couples face in maintaining connection while juggling work and children?
Okay, this question is actually, it has been around for a while. Okay, but of course, in
Yeah.
today's age, era, we have the social media as one of the distraction. But having said that, the
Mm.
most common challenges throughout, time in memorial is actually, for the couples, it's time management, communication issues, financial problems, lack of intimacy, and also understanding of each other's roles and responsibilities in their marriage. This one is a very big thing, Nora, seriously, roles and responsibilities in the marriage, because sometimes we do
Right.
not know how to, we don't know how to identify, our roles and responsibilities as Muslims, and or our roles and responsibilities in accordance with our traditional practices, right? So kadang-kadang,
Mm.
campur aduk, that
Mm.
kind of thing, it's been mixed up, it kind of confuses us. And then also the differences in
Yeah.
their values and goals. So when they got married from the very beginning, they're not so sure what is it that they want to expect from the marriage and from the relationship as a whole. So
Ah,
this may include like priorities issues, like family of origin versus the immediate
mm.
family needs, prioritizing friends over spouse and children, and spending too much time, too much of me time online nowadays. So these can all be,
Wow.
the common things. Yep. Mm.
Wow, this is a lot
Yep.
for us to take, because what you mentioned, right, is not only are there a lot of problems, but these
Mm.
problems could potentially stack up to, like, too
Yes.
much, like too much of social media will lead to the lack of intimacy, will lead, couples to stray, example. So a lot of stacking up of really bad
Yeah.
habits, eh?
Stacking, and also sometimes it's interconnected. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is
Mm.
interconnected. And then not knowing your priorities and your roles as a Muslim wife and husband.
Right.
And I think then it's important before we get married, especially for our children. Like I have a child who is 19 going on 22, and
Wow.
she's
Okay.
entering adulthood.
Yeah.
I think it's important, when she finds a partner, that she needs to
Mhm.
lay out her expectations early,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. And
Yeah,
sadly, not many parents actually, have conversations like this. Conversations about,
I see.
married life. That's or future life with a partner and things like that. It's usually is the case where, where they have boyfriend and girlfriend, then the parents start to, like, talk about it, right? But I think it has to start
Yeah,
early. Yeah, it has to start
yeah,
early.
you're right. It has to start early, and but it's never too late. Also, if your
Yes,
child
of
has a
course.
girlfriend and a boyfriend, it's never too late to also lay out
Yes,
the expectations.
must start. Yeah, must start. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay, man.
yeah.
Perhaps maybe can you share a memorable story of a couple who has overcome challenges in their marriage, and what we can learn from their journey.
Okay, all right. I can remember very well this couple. Okay, many years ago. Basically, the issue is, I found out that the issue is actually unaligned expectation. They both come into the marriage with a different expectation, and of course,
Okay.
with a busy schedule every day and all that. So they lack the communication. So, this just to give you a scenario where the wife actually felt unloved. Okay,
Ah,
she felt that the husband,
common
even
though.
though, yeah, because we have to understand women are very big on love. Okay, kita memang
Ah,
difitrahkan like that. We are being gifted by Allah SWT to have more love.
ah,
Not to say that men don't have love or don't love, they do. But what is essential to a woman's life, if you notice, everything is is equal to love. You don't buy me the gift I like, is you don't love me. You don't listen to me, you don't love me. You don't follow what I like. You don't love me. But for the
mm,
men, it's different. Men, they are bigger on respect. So if you notice that, and a lot of men who come for counseling and all that, they feel unloved, but they won't tell me that, my wife doesn't love me anymore. They will say that my wife disrespect me, dah biadab, kurang ajar, that kind of thing. So to him, it's like, to them, it's like, you don't love me is equal to you don't respect me as your husband. So this this is a difference between men and women, okay, that we have to understand. But having said this, so back to the story, the wife felt unloved
mhm.
because she feels like, yes, on a daily basis and all that, he does his work. I mean, he does his responsibility as a husband very well. He's a very good provider. He's good with the kids. He help around the house. The kind of ideal husband that many women want. Yeah, basically. But the only thing is that he rarely says "I love you" to her, and that's what she wants. Okay, he
Right.
rarely, yeah, he
Okay.
rarely
Then.
says good things like, I appreciate you, or you're such a good mother to our kids. Hey, I like your cooking. So he seldom compliments. He rarely compliments her. So she wants to hear all these good things. So basically, it's her love language is actually words of affirmation. She
Right.
wants the husband to affirm in terms of, words, good words. And if she's down and all that, the husband will just listen but not say anything. But actually, what she wants is like, I have your back. Don't
Mm,
worry. I got your back. If you have problems, and your boss won't like you, but never mind. I'm still your husband. I will here be with you. That's what she wants to hear. Okay, to motivate her verbally and all that, but he didn't. So she feels unloved. And then guess
okay.
what? Yeah, so they
What?
she reunited with her old schoolmate. Okay, they because they are not they are foreigners, basically, and then they became
Mm,
Singaporeans. So she connected, reconnected with a friend from her high school overseas. And
mm.
then and that guy actually DM her always, and then will ask her, how's your day today? Okay, so what's going on with your life now, and hey, I miss talking to you, I miss your voice. And that, this is like, we say 80-20 rule. The husband
Yeah.
has all the 80, but husband doesn't have the 20, which is what she
Mm,
wants, the
mm,
verbal
mm.
motivation and all that. And that guy is giving her this 20 verbal
Yeah. He filled the
motivation.
gap.
Yeah, so he filled the gap for her, and she forgot all about the
Yeah.
80, right? So
Oh.
basically,
Oh, that's
yeah. So
beautiful.
basically, to cut the story short,
She forgot about the 80. That's a very
yeah,
beautiful. Yep.
yeah, yeah. And she take the 80 for granted, lah. Basically, like many
Mm,
people, many couples do. And then one thing lead to another. He came down, to Singapore. He met her,
mm,
but of course, this, as as a counselor, of course, I want to believe her, right? As a counselor, I do believe her that she didn't have any
Yeah.
physical affair, but it's just, they meet up and things like that. And the husband caught her like, two
Yeah.
times. And then the third time, the husband was
Wow.
like, okay, this is it. Okay, I don't think I can tolerate this any longer. So that's when she came
Mm-hmm.
to me and said, I need help. Okay. So when I
Oh.
talked to the husband, and the husband said this, right? I have given her everything that she wants. Okay, even though she works, but I see to her needs as well as her wants. I love her so much. I provide as much as I can for her. I work so hard not only for the family, but I work so hard because I love her. I love the children, and so on and so forth. So we can see that his love language is acts of service. See, so to him, it's like, for me going out to work and provide for the family and all that, does that not mean that I don't love her? Things like that. So
Mm.
that's exactly what he told me. I did everything. Does that not show that I love her? So his way
Mm.
of showing love is through acts of service, and that's exactly this is like an analogy. If I can give you, it's like someone who is riding a bike. The fuel tank is petrol, and someone else is and your partner is driving a lorry, and the fuel tank is
Mm.
diesel. So if you put petrol inside the diesel lorry, you put the diesel inside the petrol tank, then both engine cannot work because you are putting
Mm.
incompatible fuel. So it's the same thing. You may love each other to the moon and back, but if your love language, if you don't feed your spouse with with his or her love language, then he won't feel that he is loved,
Ah.
she is cared for, she is understood. And when these three things not the feeling of cared and loved and understood is not there, then the emotional bonding will be affected. Yeah.
Ah. Wow. Wow. This is deep.
Right. Okay.
This
So
is very eye-opening because I have discovered now
uh-huh.
that my
Uh-huh.
love language is
Uh-huh.
words of affirmation.
Wow. Okay. And of
So
course,
I
there are other three love
yeah. So this
languages.
is
Yeah.
and my husband's is acts
Uh-huh.
of service.
There you go. There you go.
So
Yeah.
how do we align this then together?
Right.
If we
So
have
even
two
though his is acts of
different, I mean, if
service, yeah.
we ask, we have different.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, one of the very easy way is for you to ask each other. Okay. I mean, your love language is acts of service. So what do you want me to do that will make you feel that I love you, I care for you, I understand you? you know so then he will also ask
Okay.
you, okay, what kind of words, what do you want me to say on a daily basis, right? What do you want me to say to make you feel
Mm.
that I love you, that I care for you and things like that. So this is something that we have to
Oh,
sit down and
okay.
talk about it and things like that. It's about what the person
Mm.
wants. And you
Mm.
see, basically in human, I mean in life, right? It's actually, yeah, basic needs is important, but if you think about it, it's not our needs that make us happier. It's our wants that make us happier, right? So so while needs are important, at times you have to feed the wants, because the wants are the ones that make the person feel happier with you or with life in general, right? Things like
Agree.
that. Yeah.
Agree. So was
So
it a
so
happy ending for both of them? Please
Yes,
tell me
happy
yes. I'm
ending.
very hopeful.
Yes. Yeah, because then
Nice.
the
Alhamdulillah.
resolution is I get them to fit each other with each other's love language. I make them understand what their love language
Lovely.
is, and then I get them to have regular
Mm.
checks in with each other's feelings, validate the other
Oh,
person's feelings. Use the primary love language of the spouse to make him or her feel loved and cared for and understood and all that. And you know what?
wow. Okay.
I
Wow.
still see them in the Insta now. They are still married in the Insta. They are, they're at the brink of the husband is like have almost 2 feet out of the door, no, of marriage already. But he turned around, okay,
Right.
gave it a chance because I asked them to work on it for a few months, and I handhold them. And then the rest
Mm.
is history. They added a new member to the family. They are very loving couple now, and I'm so happy. When I see that, I feel like Hari Raya for me. Hari Raya pun tak so happy for me, his is happier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I mean, Alhamdulillah for the happy ending. But now you are making me motivated
Uh-huh.
to bring my husband out on a date and just talk about love languages and
Right.
how we us both can improve on our relationship.
Right. But
So beautiful, Kak. Thank you so much for
thank
this
you.
sharing.
Yes, but I also want to add on, with that story, what is a lesson to
Okay,
learn? Three things.
right.
Communication is key. Okay, if only they actually
Mm,
open up to each other. Communication is key in any
mm,
relationship, and the willingness to put aside
mm-hmm,
the pride and see the bigger picture of things. And Alhamdulillah, the
right.
husband actually put his pride aside. Because I mean, no man
Mm-hmm,
wants to be cheated over and over and over again. I mean, women as well, right? No
mm-hmm,
one wants to be cheated over and over,
yep.
and yet have that feeling of, I will forgive you, I will forgive you. The second one is every problem
Mm-hmm,
has a solution, but you need to resolve it. You need to seek early intervention, and this is where a lot of couples
mm,
don't do. They let things drag,
mm-hmm,
and of course, it takes two to
mm,
work on a marriage, regardless of who made the mistake. Both have to work on it.
right.
Yeah.
Agree. And also the refusal to give up on each other lah.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's beautiful too. Now, Kak, what are
Mm,
actually now? Let's move on now to what
okay.
are the some early warning
Mm.
signs that a marriage might be struggling. The early
Uh,
warning signs.
Early warning signs. Okay.
Yeah, early. Because kita kena
When the
act on
couple,
early kan. So what are the
yes,
early warning
one of the
signs?
early ones.
Mm,
Selalunya when we are together, okay, we
okay.
want to talk a lot. We want to do a lot of stuff together. That's what we do during
Mm,
courtship, right? We both
yep.
used to talk, do a lot of stuff together. But
Mm-hmm,
now we hardly do. That's one. Okay, you buat you punya, you do your own things and the other person do their own things. Busy with their
mm,
own schedule. Okay, and don't feel like connecting, through talking or whatever. Second,
mm,
okay, contempt. Contempt is slowly taking the place of mutual respect. Okay, that means this is where the partner, when your partner talks, you roll your eyes, you sneer, it's like, oh, not again, things like that. And then whenever partner talk, you give sarcastic, cutting remarks, all this is going to hurt the mutual respect, lah. Okay, of course, no matter how annoying your partner's argument may be, sometimes they deserve attention, time,
mm,
understanding, respect. Because some people don't know how to, how to talk properly again. Yeah,
mm,
especially when they're angry. They will be like, their words, their choices of words, and all that may not be. But if you feel that you and your partner are becoming intolerant, kan, of each other's feelings and thoughts, then chances are that your marriage is actually getting into trouble. Okay.
oh,
Then the third one is you are becoming more rigid in your arguments, my way or the highway. Okay. So defensive lah, yeah, rigid stance, yeah, and argumental apa tu in an argument signals that you actually do not want to participate in a fair discussion. You
cannot
just want to be
nego.
heard,
No
and
room
that's
for
it.
negotiation.
Yeah, no, my way or the
Right.
highway. And then slowly,
Oh.
because emotionally you're affected, right? Intimacy is rapidly
Mm,
fading. Intimacy. Now,
mm,
when we talk about intimacy, it may not be just sexual act itself. Okay, intimacy means
mhm,
having romance, hand holding, cuddling, saying loving words to each other, looking at each other with a look of wanting, and showing loving gestures. These are all intimacy. But if it is missing
mm,
in the house, slowly, I always say this lah. When you check out from intimacy with each other, you will check out emotionally from each other. Confirm.
wow.
Okay? Yeah. And vice versa. When you check out emotionally with each other, that means, emotionally you're not there for each other. Lama kelamaan, the sexual intimacy will also be checked out. You will check out from it
Mm,
also. So emotion,
mm,
and sexual intimacy, emotion and intimacy have to come hand in hand together. Okay. Then
right.
another one is you start shutting off or disconnecting emotionally, like I said just now. Okay. So lack of empathy, lah, basically. Okay. Is
Mm,
another sign of a collapsing marriage, actually. Okay. You may start feeling that your spouse problems are not yours. I'm sure you have heard some couples say, this is your problem, this is not mine. Solve it on your own.
mm,
Okay, so and then they begin distancing themselves from the partner, right? So this usually happens when you feel that you do not value the other person's views anymore. Okay, you do not want. Okay, then this one is also this one a lot of couples do. Okay, every little effort that the spouse that you do for the spouse, it feels like too much effort for the person. That means every little effort for the spouse feels like too much effort. So if sometimes we do the tiniest effort, right, for our spouse, and if we still have that emotional connection and all that, we feel very thankful, grateful, blah blah blah. So basically, in a healthy marriage, you feel motivated to care for each other. But if tending to your spouse for like for example bawa pergi to the doctor clinic, or making simple breakfast seems like a very very cumbersome thing to do for you.
Sure.
That is also a chore. That is also a sign. Okay. And
that's sad.
so a lot. That's sad. Yeah. And then
Sad.
this one, your spouse's absence makes you happier. Okay, it's like because most happily married men and women, they will be excited, right, to be to receive their spouse return from work, right, cherish each other's company at home, and things like that. But if you feel relief or stress or less stress when your spouse is away from home and not around you, then it is sign that your marriage is hurting or at the very least your relationship is trying to fizzle up. Yeah.
Okay, let's hold on to that statement. But this will come from the perspective of the spouse who doesn't enjoy spending time with the wife or the husband lah, betul tak? Because on the other spectrum, that spouse is yearning for time spent with the husband or the wife. Am I right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like because like this is when one fully checks out of that marriage emotionally lah, and then another one is really pining for the spouse.
Yeah.
Then
so
how
even
do
the
we
one
deal with this then?
Okay. Well, it all depends because sometimes the one who is pining, we also have to look at the situation because there are some individuals who are very clingy. They want their husband or wife to be 24/7 at their face, have to be around. So until to the extent that the other person feel like, I can't move, it's like, I'm in prison. I can't do things on my own. You always have to be around me. You always have to check on me. You always have to so it becomes very clingy. So we do not want that kind of, that there has to be, so we cannot be that, right? But sometimes this all depends on the person's personality as well, and also past experiences. Okay. Yeah. So so this is where if the person is too clingy or the person is absent altogether, all this need help. Right? Yeah. Because when you're so psychologically, when a person is very clingy, then psychologically the other person would think that you cannot live without me. Right? So when you cannot live without me, sometimes unconsciously the person is going to do all sorts of nonsense just to make you feel uneasy and insecure. So when you feel more insecure, the more the other person feel like, you cannot live without me, So they become swell-headed. They become,
That's cruel. Tak baik.
And all this is not on purpose. It's unconscious. Yes. It's psychological. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I see. Kak, let's face it, I think many marriages face strain due to financial issues.
Right.
Especially now, because now we have household where both husband and wife, they are working, correct? So it becomes my money is my money, your money is my money. Some are not transparent with their money. Some women feel very, how do you say, they feel very burdened because, no, let me correct that. They feel unhappy because here I am helping you with the load, the financial load, but I still have to run the family. So a lot of unhappiness from many working wives out there,
Right.
with the burden of having to look after the family, and I have to work, and then my love language not
Uh,
met. So how do we tackle this? Like,
okay.
I'm not saying like for men to treat a women better per se. How do
Okay.
we tackle inwardly as women?
Hmm. Okay.
Don't
First and
make
foremost,
every effort. Yeah.
uh-huh. Okay. Before I go to the women, actually, I would like to
Mhm.
go to the men first. This is important
Okay.
because I mean we're talking about as Muslims, we need to understand that our responsibility is not the same with the non-Muslim men. Okay, and this is where a lot of fallout in this area, misunderstanding. Okay, first and foremost, couples need to understand, Muslim couples I'm talking about here, they need to understand the meaning of money in a Muslim marriage. Okay, and this is where the start of unnecessary misunderstanding and mismanagement of money in many of the marriages in our society, because we are unclear of the function of money and money management in a marriage. So unlike non-Muslims, a Muslim husband is subject to, firstly, obligation to provide financial maintenance to the wife and children. This is clearly stated in the Quran. It is a man's job. Okay. And secondly, it is subjected, it is subjected to halal, and also what we call the maqasid al-sharia. That means to do something that is good, to avoid something that is bad, the al-sharia principles in the expenses. So Muslim couples need to understand, okay, husband need to understand that when he spends on his wife, that is his financial responsibility, but also not just a responsibility, but it may be love. It may be his show of love as well, right? All her basic needs, sometimes to fulfill her wants to without any coercion or hidden agenda whatsoever, okay? And to understand that when he spends on his wife, his wife is actually the platform, wadah, okay? The platform that Allah actually has created for him to receive more blessings from Allah. A lot of husbands, I'm sorry to say, a lot of husbands, especially when the wife is working, he will always feel like, okay, my wife is working, so I don't have to, I don't have to fork out this one, I don't have to pay for this, I don't have to, and I don't have to, I don't have to buy you things and all that. You buy on your own because you are the kerja, things like that, and things like that. And worse, sometimes they can spend so much on themselves, their hobbies, their friends, their family of origin, unnecessarily lah. It's okay for you to spend on your family of origin if they need your help. But what I mean is overboard. Okay, so they can do all these things with their money, and then when they come back, because the wife is working, right, and then they come back and they say, "Tak ada duit lah, no money, not enough money," things like that. So this becomes a problem, right? So the wife, however, on the other hand, also must understand that we are living in Singapore and everything is very expensive, right? So she should spend her husband's wealth reasonably and not, be extravagant and things like that. So basically, it's good to have income sharing when the wife works, right? Although it is not obligatory for the wife to contribute financially. Okay, we have to understand that in Islam, it is not obligatory, meaning to say that if the wife works, the husband can say, oh, you work, who give you permission to work? I, right? So you pay this, you pay that, you pay this. No, he can't do it. He cannot dictate what she should be paying. However, she, on her own, must exercise rahmah, compassion, mercy to help the husband. Because if husband were to fork out everything in Singapore, then the household economy or financial status is going to be very tight, right? There's no tak ada ruang untuk be happy together and all that financially and things like that. So when a wife works, although it's not obligatory, she ought to exercise some compassion, okay, by contributing some to income sharing and so on and so forth, because Allah is seeing and knowing, okay, what we do. So when we part with our money as women, we part our money to help the husband with the intention, niat tu untuk apa, untuk tolong rumah tangga and things like that. And inshallah, Allah is going to bless us in so many ways. But of course, husband cannot dictate. However, this is what I always tell couples before you even get married, okay? You must talk about finances, okay? Because when we talk about money, right, especially in our society, it is not common to talk about money because people don't want to be seen as money-minded or money-face. And this is really wrong. It's this kind of mindset dah lapuk tau. Okay, this is 1970s, 80s mindset. We are 2024. We need to be very realistic that, finances is very important. Even in Islam, we need to plan, things. So even the ones who are married, you need to have periodical review, sit down, talk about it. Okay, what else can we do? How else can I help in the finances and things like that. So basically, both husband and wife has to be fair, with each other in terms of the managing finances and things like that. At the end of the day, we must always have goal, because people always think, what I spend, I will be asked by Allah SWT later on. What you save will also be asked. So I mean, things like, whether you're saving a lot or you're spending a lot, all these have to be talked about between husband and wife. Because first, one of the things that you need to talk about is what's the financial goal in the marriage. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about. What is your number one financial goal in the household, in the marriage, right? And then who will be, for example, who will be in charge of executing or monitoring the finances of the family? Okay, whether the wife or the husband or both of you, take some charge in some things. How much does each financially support each other's parents? Right down to like bagi mak bapak duit, or tolong adik-beradik in their school fees or whatever not. What is all this has to be talked about. What is the the most that each of you can spend without consulting each other? I have couples who say this. Anything less than $100, we don't ask each other. But anything that we spend more than $100, we will check with each other. So I think that's a good, healthy exercise, so that you both know where the money goes to and things like that, and find out what.
Or perhaps another healthy. Perhaps another healthy exercise would be to have a joint account where both of you mutually agree to pump in how much out of your salaries every month, so that this one will settle the groceries, the school fees. Am I right to say that, Ka?
Right. One of it. In fact,
Proper
I would
financial
say
planning
that,
of your expenses.
yeah, the financial planning. Learn to talk with your spouse about each other's spending habits, savings habit. Because some people, they save first before they spend. Some people, they spend first and then they save. Okay, there is no one. I mean, of course, to save first is a safer bet. But if you can manage it the way you manage it, okay, and if it works for you, I mean, why not, right? I mean, there's no one way fits all. Find out about each other's.
One size fits all.
Yeah, one size fits all. No such thing. So be transparent. The most important thing when we talk about money, you must be transparent and honest with each other. Okay, especially on, say for example, your pre-existing and existing financial commitment, your insurance, loans to pay, allowances to parents, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then you draw up a budget. Okay, this budget.
Agree.
Okay. In fact, during our time we don't have it, I think. Yeah. But now couples are blessed, they can actually go to moneysense.gov.sg. There's a lot of financial tools there, budgeting, saving, blah, blah, blah. And this is a government website for everyone to use free of charge. So I think, they must use this to help them out. We don't have this last time. I don't have, at least. Yeah. Wow. But now they government is...
Correct. Now we have a lot of tools to help us.
Yeah, so there's no excuse to say that I don't know where to learn, how to learn, and things like that, right? So all this joint budget would help to track both earnings. And then, talking about, Nora, you talk about having or developing joint account. Usually joint account, usually what people do is for the big ticket items, like, like the loan, the house loan, if they have a car, if they have
house rental. Go for holiday.
Yes, yeah. But some people, they still prefer to have separate accounts. And I think it's also good, especially because sometimes there are some couples where one person, they have this tendency to police the other person's money. You know what I mean? Okay, you beli apa ni?
Okay.
You beli apa?
Yeah.
You kenapa ni? Kenapa tu? So if you think that it's not necessary for the person to know, okay, as long as you have, you have fulfilled whatever, that you need to fulfill and all that, a little bit of your own money, your own savings, you free reign lah, whatever.
Yeah.
Takkanlah nak beli apa,
Correct.
nak
Yeah.
beli,
As long as your finances are
as long as
managed mutually,
yeah.
individually is also fine. Yeah, as long
Alright.
as you
Takkanlah nak pergi
agree. No, tak.
Magnum ice cream pun, takkan you nak tanya your husband, or your wife, can I buy for
Itu dah
50 cent only? Melampau lah
melampau.
kan? Yeah. Okay. Alright.
Betul. Okay. Okay, Kak, like moving on, Kak, how can
Okay.
how can couples normalize seeking professional help? Okay, because people see marriage counseling as a taboo. That means, you are at the brink of divorce. But sometimes it's not, sometimes you just want to nip it in the bud. So how can we normalize seeking professional help? Because maybe I want to share, me and my husband, Esman, we have gone through marriage counseling before. Now, not because we want to give up on each other, but before we give up on each other, we want to fine tune some issues that another party, because the problem with a marriage is, he thinks he's Mr. Right. I think I'm Mrs. Always Right. So it's nice to have a counselor put us into our places. So how do we normalize this? That going to counseling does not mean you're going to end up in divorce, inshallah. No, it's not.
Okay. Before we talk about normalizing, it's actually there's a mindset out there, yeah. But couples must first understand that, especially in today's day and world, we're talking about the young generation nowadays. They love to learn things through experiential learning. I will go through it. I will learn as I go through things. Okay, so that's why there are a lot of couples out there who do not go for marriage preparation courses because they feel it's not necessary. Once I'm into the marriage, then I will learn as I go along. But let's put it this way, okay? Like seeking professional early from people who have expertise, okay, can actually save you a lot. Let's say, for example, I give you an analogy, okay? You go to driving school, okay, to learn from the driving experts on how to read road signages, the law, to know the rules, and how to drive first before you can actually drive your vehicle on the road, isn't it? Right? You need to go and learn, okay, from the expert so that you will not injure yourself unnecessarily on the road. And worse, you may not cause the life of other road users, isn't it? So that's why you go and learn first. So likewise, seeking professional early, right, from people who have that expertise can actually save you a lot from possible accidents and tragic mishaps, right, in your life's journey. It's like, you are given, because these experts give you, like, for example, a toolbox of medicine or a toolbox of tools, right? So if, let's say, you headache, okay, you take Panadol. If you have joint pains, you take Simplex. So in a way, okay, if you go, right, you will learn, okay, if I come, if I'm faced with this conflict, okay, I know what to do, what kind of skills to use. Okay, if I cannot, if I keep quarreling with my husband because of certain things, okay, this is what we can do, strategize, what I have learned from class and things like that. So, but the problem is the younger generation prefer to learn things OJT style. So this is sometimes very difficult. Okay, we need, in everything, we need to learn, okay, from the expert first, so that we can, this is like preempting, okay, what's going to happen. So when it happens, then you know what to do. At least you have some knowledge of how to actually face it, rather than face it in the dark, listening to people who are probably, experienced from their own experience, which may not be good for you.
Their own wounds.
Right? Yeah. So a lot of people like to dengar cakap kawan, kawan cakap, buat this, buat that. It works for their marriage. It may not work for you. But if you go to a professional, they have seen it all. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we need to. So
understand.
back to this, open communication is key. I always say this, where partners need to openly discuss about
Mm. Yep.
counselling, focusing on, basically it's like
Right.
niat tu mesti nak betul lah. You must have a positive attitude
Mm-hmm.
towards the whole relationship, towards the whole marriage.
Yep.
So
And
another one that I
erase the mindset that
right.
of going to
See
marriage
yeah,
counseling
and the
is
thing is,
trouble,
I also
right?
want to mention this because there's a lot of this word aib being thrown all over the place. Okay, nowadays, why you go to counselor? Why you go to another person? Kenapa you mengaibkan kita punya problem, marital problem and all that? Okay, aib means memalukan. If you were to get angry with your spouse and then you rant in the social media for the sake of ranting, that is aib. If you tell people just to vent your anger, release your anger and all that, that is fine. But if you go to someone with the niat, the intention of wanting to save your relationship, wanting to save your marriage, wanting to better or improve your relationship with each other, that is not aib. That is ikhtiar, isn't it? That is to find solutions to
Mm-hmm.
make your life improve in so many ways. So this is where we need to
Mm-hmm.
understand, because a lot of people have basically abused the word aib. I have a lot of
Yeah.
women or men alike, especially women. When they come to me and I say, "Where's your husband? How come he's not coming for the counselling?" I say, "No, he gets angry with me when I come." I say, "Why?" Because he say, "Kenapa you mengaibkan kita punya rumah tangga, hal rumah tangga with someone else that we do not know?" So this is a problem, you see. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Kak, thank you for this. This is really very enlightening. Now, Kak, if what are the small practical actions that couples can take daily to strengthen their bond?
Okay, all right. Daily check-ins with each other. At least
Mm-hmm.
20 to 30 minutes of spending quiet time, talking with, interacting with each other. Don't talk about functional stuff. Functional stuff are like, kita lupa nak telefon anak punya cikgu tadi, cikgu dia telefon kan. Or you say, you asked me to buy eggs, right? I forgot, tomorrow I go and buy. These are all functional. No, talk about you and me. Okay, to the extent that have jokes, main gurau-gurau, tickle each other, whatever, right? Things like that. Daily check-ins. How's your day today? What do you do? That. And I have one guy who said this. I look forward to my wife coming back every day. Because I can't wait for her to gossip about her colleagues. I love listening to her gossiping about her colleagues. And I think that's wonderful. Okay, it may not be right to listen to gossips,
I see.
but whatever works for you,
Yeah,
right? Whatever works for both of them. That makes them
correct.
happy. That makes them gel as a couple. Okay, then go on dates. Go on dates. Friday, Saturdays,
Mm.
once a week, or if you cannot, bi-monthly and yearly anniversary. Try to go on a getaway. I've been married to my husband for like 27 years, I told you. And for 27 years, we have been going out a getaway, and we leave our children. Mind you, we don't bring our kids, because if we bring our kids, we're not going to focus on ourselves. Because kids need, their diapers need to be changed. You need to give them
Mm.
milk, make them sleep. Sometimes they are
Yeah.
cranky. All this. Then you won't focus on yourselves, on each other, right?
Mm.
Okay, help each
Mm.
other out with the daily tasks. Okay, don't wait to be asked. Some people like ketuk berjalan. Why so? There's
Mm.
one lady who came to me and said, I fed up. I feel like and you know why? She said, I fed up. I feel like divorcing him just because of she was a teacher, and she said, I don't want to come back home. I'm a teacher. I don't want to come back home and be a teacher to my husband. I always have to tell him to do things in the house. He cannot do house chores. Ketuk jalan. If I didn't say, he won't do it. So she get fed up. Okay,
Mm.
then appreciate. Show gratitude. Always be thankful for the little things that we do for each other. And say it. Even if you don't,
Wow.
and for example, you buy, let's say your husband suka nasi lemak from Adam Road. Okay, and when you buy that nasi lemak, especially from Adam Road, tell him, I buy your favorite Adam Road nasi lemak. You know why? Because yesterday you have been so nice. You helped me a lot in this, and I really appreciate. So when you tell people, This is just like in the workplace, right? If your boss pat you at the back and say, hey, Nora, that's a very good thing you did with the client yesterday. I love it. Do you think you want to do it again with other clients in the future? You
Surely,
will,
yeah.
surely. Because you
Yes.
know, okay, that's the right thing to do. And, someone loved me doing this, and I will do it. Now, another one is a big thing.
Yeah.
A big thing.
It's just little
Forgiveness.
things better lah.
Little things matter. And another one is forgiveness. We need to, first and foremost, in order to be, to quick to forgive, we must be each other's friends, best friends in a marriage. Because it's not about love, that actually binds us to the end. It's actually like. Okay. Nora, I want to ask you, do you have friends from your school days that are still in your life today? Do you have friends who are still in your life?
Have.
Still, right? Okay, why?
Have.
Do you romantically love them?
Still.
Yeah. Do you romantically love them? You don't, right? It's because
No,
you,
but I do love them. I mean, they are very important to me.
not romantically, but you like them. You like their behavior. You like them as a person. You like them. And that's why they are there in your life for the long haul. So if you like each other, if you notice like orang tua-tua dulu-dulu, they always say, dialah kawan lawan, dialah kawan teman, dialah kawan gaduh. The word is kawan. Remember? Nenek to always say kawan. So when you have that friendship, okay, and if your friendship is very close, just like we have our BFFs, right, and things like that, our bestie, we tend to forgive our bestie quickly. Right? We don't really mind what our bestie does sometimes to us and all that because we like them a lot.
Yeah.
We love them, but not romantically, right? Okay, another one is mutual respect. This one, I can't say much. Okay, respect does not go only one way. Oh, I'm the husband, ketua keluarga, you must respect me. Husband also must respect wife. Okay, I mean, Rasulullah SAW is our role model. He respects all his wives and family members, right? Okay, compromise. Let go of the expectation that your way is the right way all the time. Okay, we can't do that. We are human. We need to understand that we make mistake as much as other people do too. Okay, and if your children make mistake, if your children pointed out your mistake, accept it and say sorry. Right? We don't need to be
Accountability lah. Accountability.
accountability. So we are the role model also kan. Kita husband and wife role model. If we can do it, the rest of the household will do it. Right?
There are so many.
Last one. Listen
Okay.
to understand first.
Wow.
Listen to understand first, not to respond.
Listen to understand.
Yes. And this is where a lot of people fall out. Not being able to listen effectively. You need, whatever that your husband, your wife tells you, don't listen for you to respond and give answers or whatever. You listen to understand what is she or he feeling and thinking. That is important. That is what we call emotional attachment. Emotional. You tak buat macam tu is disconnection.
Right.
Okay.
Masya Allah.
Banyak kan?
A lot. I have learned so much. I feel like I'm in a therapy session. So thank you so much, Kak, for being here with me today. Now, in the event, because I think you have so much more as well to share. Now, in the event, my listeners they want to reach out to you. How can they reach out to you?
Okay, they can text me. Okay, I can give them my phone number. That's the easiest lah, because
they can find you on Instagram.
They can find me in Instagram. They can find me in FB. Okay, Coach Rasimah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
I will
FB
provide the link.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I'm
I
also
will provide the
LinkedIn.
link for them to click.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank
Nora.
you so much
Really
for your
appreciate it.
time, for your precious time. I really appreciate too. Thank you, Kak.
Yeah. Same here.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.